This meeting of the U.S. Submarine Veterans San Diego Base will come to order. Our creed: to perpetuate the memory of our shipmates who gave their lives in the performance of their duties while serving their country, that their dedication, deeds, and supreme sacrifice may be a constant source of motivation towards greater accomplishments, and to pledge loyalty and patriotism to the United States of America and to its Constitution. And your new base commander just realized that there's something missing from the
Flags.
We're just going to put that. Please join Paul, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready?
And salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, uncovered. We do not have a chaplain, so that's a hint to somebody who would like to step forward. Eternal Father, we thank you for the heritage and liberty we enjoy as Americans, and for the privilege of having served in the submarine service. We ask your blessing for our shipmates who have made the supreme sacrifice in service to our nation. As we gather here this evening to honor and remember, bless our shipmates who have gone ahead on eternal patrol, and those of our group who are sick, troubled, and bereaved. And bless and protect our shipmates on active duty as they serve in the first line of defense of our nation. We humbly ask this in your name. Amen. Our eternal patrol reports. Luckily, there are no members to report. However, I'm not sure if those of you who saw the email from National last month, at the end of last month, but it is with great sadness that they report that Tudor Davis went on eternal patrol on August 28th, 2024, at about around 1700. He was a World War II veteran, a member of the Blueback Base, a founding member of the Bremerton Base, and a former national commander from 1984 to 1986. Earlier this year, he celebrated his 100th birthday. He enlisted in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on December 31st, 1941. He was qualified in submarines in 1943 on the USS Halibut SS-232. He was a life member and was inducted into the prestigious Holland Club. And if you remember, Chris, for his 100th birthday, we all signed a birthday card that was presented to him. So,
he was also a life member of our base.
I remembered you saying that, but I wasn't quite sure. So he was a life member of our base. So I guess then for that he is. We do have an internal report. All right. The following votes were lost during the month of September. Bell ringer, please strike a toll for the following votes. USS S5, SS-110, lost on September 1st, 1920, when a practice dive went wrong and she sank bow first with her stern showing above the water. In a dramatic adventure, her exhausted crew was rescued during the next few days. Salvage attempts were unsuccessful. S5 settled to the bottom and was abandoned. USS Grayling, SS-209, lost on September 9th, 1943, with a loss of 76 men near the Tablas Strait. Grayling was on her 8th war patrol and sank 2 ships before being lost. USS Pompano, SS-181. Pompano was sunk sometime between September 17th and October 5th, with the loss of 77 men while on her 7th war patrol. Possibly lost on September 17, 1943. Japanese records show that a submarine was sunk in her patrol area on September 17th by air and depth charge attack off the Mori Prefecture near Shirayazaki. Before being lost, she sank 2 enemy cargo ships. The exact cause of her loss remains unknown, but she was probably sunk by that air-sea attack above or fell victim to a mine on or after September 25th, 1943. USS S-51, SS-162, lost on September 25th, 1925 with a loss of 33 men when it was sunk after collision with the SS City of Rome off of Block Island. USS Cisco, SS-290, lost on September 28, 1943 on her first war patrol with the loss of 76 men in the Sulu Sea west of Mindanao. Let's please observe a moment of silent prayer. Amen. Please be seated. E-board members present. We have the senior vice. Do we have any past officers, new members, or guests present this evening? I think we do.
Right in here.
Right as in here. We have some guests who are still partaking in the tacos. Oh, that's all right. Paul, how many members are present? Did you get Jason who just walked in? Got in there. 12 members present. All right. Mr. Treasurer, may we have your report?
As all of you know, I'm new treasurer, and I've been able to hopefully get all the records straight on this at this point in time. Our checking account is registered at 1427.36, and the savings is at 22,528.93. That's a combined total of all accounts, 24,035.83. We've had there was 2 checks outstanding at the end of our accounting period. And since that time, one has come in on 8/19. We had income was a total of $980.02, and our expenses at the time were $1,904.31. Now, this is also, keep in mind, in the past, it's always been as of the accounting cutoff, which was usually about the 17th of the month, and then you're getting the report later on for the following period. This actually is as of the period of April, or August, I'm sorry. As of going forward, I'm taking steps now to give us a more current timeline as far as our amounts are concerned. And that will be because I'm cutting off our record, and you'll be reporting through the end of each month, putting us only about anywhere from 8 to 12 days, as far as activity unaccounted for. Any questions? I turn it over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer.
The meetings of the August meeting were emailed and copies are on the table. Are there any changes, deletions, or additions that need to be made to the August meeting minutes? Seeing no hands, I'm going to take that the meetings, or the August meeting minutes are adopted as provided. So now do the call for committee reports. We do not have a chaplain. Hint, hint, we're going to need one. Right now, we'll get to the volunteer. I do not know of anyone who is on the benefit list. Parade committee. Oh yeah, Jack's not here. Jack is, he's up in, I think went to Bremerton for one of his boat reunions. So we have the Poway Parade this Saturday. The parade's at 9 o'clock. I am leaving my house at 6:30. Right now I'm going to be, I'll be bringing the floats up at that time. Harry and Ray are going to be riding with me. I can take up to 2 more people in my truck. If you want to come to my house to see me after the meeting, so I will be leaving. We are entry number 23 in the parade, so I suspect we'll be in this pretty much about the same location that we were last year. It's a it's kind of a long parade, and but we'll be done before 11 o'clock. And hopefully before it gets really too long. The last parade of the year after that will be the Veterans Day Parade, which will be on November 11th, which is a Monday. We'll be setting up, right now it says 9 o'clock. I believe the parade is at 11. This says 10 o'clock. More information next month. Membership Committee.
We have 172 members.
172 members. Scholarship Committee. Right there.
It's too early to talk scholarships, but if you know of a granddaughter, grandson, or anybody like that, start thinking about it.
In line with,
And then what I will need is, for me to continue this, is I will need at least 4 people to help me review the process. So think about it.
in line with the scholarship, we did receive 2 thank you notes from Dave Coppinen's kids. Dear Mr. Hitchcock, Mr. Hickman, and the San Diego base, thank you very much for the scholarship. I will be studying business at Northern Arizona University this fall. I will put the scholarship from the San Diego base to very good use. Thank you for your generosity. Best regards, Jack. Dear Mr. Hitchcock, Mr. Hickman, no longer here, and the scholarship committee. Thank you so much for choosing me as the recipient of the 2024 United States Submarine Veterans San Diego Bay Scholarship. I greatly appreciate it, as the scholarship will allow me to pay for my books, which are required for the classes I take. I will continue to work hard in order to maintain a high GPA, stay on the dean's list, and continue to foster positive relationships with those around me. Thank you again, Alexander.
Sir, remember also sent, but he sent email to me and I did not bring it in. I'm sorry.
And that's amazing because 2 of them are a website guy in Arizona. So both his granddaughter and grandson. And the grandson is autistic, so he's actually, getting better. He actually, some of the stuff I saw that he wrote me, he's better than he's been. His grandfather told me that they've been working with him. So anyhow, it's good to hear.
Storekeeper.
Okay, I've been working as storekeeper. I've got a couple people I've helped get patches for and working get their vests. Also, if you weren't here last meeting, I put out a list, or I had you come and sign a list for a calendar. And if you didn't do it, you want a calendar for next year, come see me, because I'm only going to buy 40 calendars unless I get more people. Just because we wasted almost 40 calendars this year. So we bought 80, and we just had nobody bought them. So anyhow.
52 Boat Memorial. The next All Flags is going to occur on September 20th. That's POWMIA Day. We're going to deploy the flags at 7:30 and retrieve at 16:30. I guess that's going to be me. I guess I'm going to be driving to work that day. It will be greatly appreciated if anybody can help out. I will pick up the flags at 7 o'clock from storage. We'll deploy them at 7:30, and then I will come back after work at 16:30. And then on the next one after that for all flags is the 11th of November, which we're going to deploy again at 7:30 and retrieve at 16:30 because I'll be pulling the float. We'll need somebody else to be picking up flags. We'll talk to Jack. On the 52 boat memorial, I attended the Submarine League Planning Committee, and the individual who was going to be putting out the flags on the individual days that the boats were lost can't do that anymore. So more to come on that. We'll be looking for a volunteer. I was thinking about doing it, but I already have enough on my plate. So we'll see how. Be nice if you live in that area and can help out. Be appreciated. Float committee. Oh, that's me. I was going to pick up the float today, but I was too busy, so I'm going to pick it up Thursday or Friday. Obviously, I can't say that I'm too busy. I'm going to have to pick it up for the parade on Saturday. We're going to have a working party on September 21st from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at my house. We're going to repaint the lift for the float and hopefully come up with a mechanism to keep the banners from hitting the tires. So that's the plan for that time period, and you'll see why it's 9 to 11 when we get to good of the order. We'll save that for good of the order. The Boy Scout, September 21st, 9 to 11. That's a Saturday. Boy Scout coordinator is not here. For the Western Region Roundup Ad Hoc Committee for planning, we are not met yet. We plan on meeting next month because there's been too much stuff going on. We have not had time to plan to meet. Now we're supposed to have a presentation, and I guess that's me too. So I went to the convention. It was a good time. See if I can do this with my mouse from over here. Let me put it on there. It would be better if I had brought my my keyboard, then I could just hit the space bar. So it was held in Cleveland. It was actually just outside Cleveland. It was held at the Embassy Suites in Rockville. It was a atrium type of hotel. It was pretty neat. This is shots from not obviously, but this is from the floor I was staying on. You can see nice big open area. It was a nice hotel. I had no complaints. Some people had complaints, but they complained. So, just some banners that were hung up. Some organizations were promoting. So the Buffalo base was promoting a Buffalo memorial. This was being promoted for the Cincinnati one. They were up there. Just some more. That's a sign from Cod Base. Welcome to Cleveland. Hey, who's here been to Cleveland? Cleveland rocks, by the way.
You have.
I actually did not mind Cleveland. It was a really good place. Here is the USS Cincinnati float. I thought it was a well done float. It's not like as good as ours, where people can sit on the float and ride with it and get raised up, but it was a decent float. That trailer that you see in the back, one of the sponsors was also a vendor. That was a cigar truck or van, and they had like a pavilion. I think. Let's see if I can back this up. that's gonna kill me. I'm not gonna do it. But they had like a little smoking area and you could smoke the cigars. I do not smoke cigars.
In the trailer.
Yeah, no, yeah, in the, well, they had a little, it was outside. Nice vendor room, you know. Oh, this was the charitable foundation. They had a kiosk set up where you can donate directly to the charitable foundation. But your standard, typical vendor, if you've ever been to the convention. I did not take a picture of the vest lady this year, sorry. Actually, I do have a picture, but I didn't put it in the presentation. Sure. Come on.
She's a highlight.
I don't know. That's going backwards. You know what, I'm gonna just stay it over here. Some fun activities that happened. I went to the NFL Hall of Fame. How many of you have been to the NFL Hall of Fame? It is pretty cool. There you go. That's the outside. That's like the big football thing. I like this, you know,
Oh,
the
jeez.
goalpost has the electrical wires. And they were nice enough to have on their marquee to welcome us to their place. If you go into the Hall of Fame, this is the actual where they have all the busts located, and they're arranged by year. But here's some things that for San Diego fans. If you're a fan of another team, don't care. We have Dan Fouts, and then we have Junior Seau and LaDainian Tomlinson, some of the greatest Charger people. By the way, I'm a Saints fan, and you'll notice I did not include them here because I like this. I was wondering as I stood there, did they steal this from Rickover, or did Rickover steal it from them? Doing right, even when hard. I like it. Nobody liked my joke. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I didn't take too many pictures in there. That's the outside of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. See, I have evidence I was actually there. This is, oh crap, no,
Player piano.
what's that?
Top Gun.
Who's the guy who married his 13-year-old?
Jerry Lee Lewis.
There we go. Jerry Lee Lewis. His name just dropped out of it. That's Jerry Lee Lewis's piano. But when you go in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, on the bottom level is this big, have all kind of exhibits to different genres of rock and different bands like the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, etc. And then up on like the third or fourth level, they have the actual Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is, you can see it's just ranged by years, and then they put up the bands that they put into on that year. But this is what they look like. After the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, those of us who went there also went onto this canal ride. I thought this was actually better than the NFL Hall of Fame, because you got to learn about how George Washington dreamt up creating the canal system, and then they went and dug this canal system for trade and Erie Canal, things like that. But here they have this, they call it the St. Helena 3. So the first St. Helena was this cargo boat that they actually ran in the canal system. After they stopped doing that, they created the St. Helena 2 as a exhibit boat, but it quickly rotted away, so they made the St. Helena 3 out of concrete. So it won't rot away. But here was our little tour guide. This is the boat sitting there. I didn't get a very good picture of it, but he's dressed like the 1800s. Here is their lock system. So the lock is 15 feet wide. the boats were 14 feet wide. And so you would go into the lock, and if you were gonna come up to this level, they have little gates over here that they would open up and it would flood and bring you up and then you could come in. When going that way, you'd go into this little lock and then they would have that other end shut and then they would open the gates on that side and it would drain down to let you in. This little bridge across there didn't exist at that time. That's how they get back across the canal there now. But they don't use the lock system anymore, but that's like one of the lots that are left. And here was the top of the boat. What they would do is they used horses to pull the boats. And in reality, in this section here, this is where they would keep, we'll call them the spare horses. So every once in a while they would stop and swap out the horses. So there was, the horse would pull them. We're being pulled by a lawnmower. And then this was an interesting, Sasquatch was in the area. Some other things that they had a wine tour. They actually had a Cleveland tour, took you around. I did go to the Cleveland Guardians game. I had issues with getting a video because Michael Bost, who is the base commander in the Eastern District Region commander, we were on the big screen because they came by to show the subvets. And so we were on the big screen, we got a video, and I had technology was kicking my butt for me to put the video. They had some garden tour, they had like a scenic railway ride, and they had a dinner cruise. You couldn't go on the dinner cruise and go to the Cleveland Guardians game at the same time because they have to be the same time. There was a submarine, USS Cod. So it's a World War II submarine. And I'll show you the screw, but the ass end of the boat is actually sitting up on the land, so it doesn't move that much. Interesting story is when the Cod was being taken out to go to the shipyard to get refurbished to become this memorial, they had two tugs alongside, and the president of the memorial place, he was acting as the CO of the sub. And as they got the sub out off of the pier, he radioed over to tell them that they could then swing the sub out. Well, one of the tug captains was basically told that guy to shut his lip, that they were running the show. And so then they drifted over, and they swung the sub out, and they collided with a Coast Guard vessel that was sitting over on the other pier. They did like $12,000 worth of damage to the sub, and the Coast Guard captain boasted that he was the only American to be attacked by a World War II submarine. All right, let's see if this works. I'll make sure the sound's up. I hate technology. Got to fire off the gun. It was pretty cool. Now, I did take, we fired off several times. I even got to push the button. They used some like acetylene gas to fire off, and you just push the button. But when you took, interesting enough, when you were standing right next to it with your phone recording, it didn't sound, that's not that impressive. There it's impressive, but even less impressive is when you record it standing right next to it. It's kind of a weird thing. If you look closely, you can see an indentation on the deck right there. That's from a depth charge. So this boat was depth charged, and on the plating, there was an indentation from the depth charge hitting it. I thought that was pretty cool.
From a dud? A dud?
No, a real depth charge. Yeah, this boat was with, I don't remember what year they said that they were depth charged, which war patrol. There's their prop. Here's a bunch of us staying. So this is the guy who is the president of the memorial. He was giving us our own private tour. He allowed us to go up in the conning tower, and he allowed us to go up there too, where the regular civilians could not go. Here is an actual bullet hole from a Japanese airplane in the superstructure. This was on the forward end of the ship. Up in the conning tower, there's another bullet hole. This one whizzed by the CO while he was in the conning tower. That's me. I got to look to the straight. That was cool. For those of you, there's the aft torpedo room. 4 torpedo tubes. So here's just a shot looking forward of the aft torpedo room. This was the galley for the wardroom. Here's the wardroom and one of the officers' sleeping quarters. Here's the crew's mess, and here's a shot of they called it Hogan's Alley. So this is like the after, or the far out place where they slept. But you can see they're fine accommodations. Here's a welcome board reception. They had a band playing 70s rock and roll. So I don't remember what music. It was kind of like this buffet thing. You walked up and you chose your pasta, you chose your sauce, and you chose a protein, and they cooked it up for you. So like this was, yeah, that's like one of those. I don't remember what it was. Holland Club breakfast. One of these days, hopefully, still like 20 years ago or something. So, if you remember from my last presentation, Tony Bael, I can never get his name right. That's Tony. He's 102. And interestingly enough, as I'm leaving the airport to fly back to San Diego, guy sees my hat and he goes, "Hey, there was a 100-year-old submariner who came through here earlier." And I go, "Oh, it was Tony," because he's the only one that's 102. And he still gets around rather well.
Isn't that a guy from Delaware or something? He's on the East Coast.
Yeah, he's an East. He was at the Tucson. Yeah. They had a presentation by the Poopy Suit guys, so they did that book, Poopy Suits and something or other. His brother actually writes the books. He just provides the stories. His brother is a big writer. Then we had the luncheon. Had like this open-faced turkey sandwich. They had these two guys. They were hilarious. Perform during the luncheon. Let's see, for Frank and Dean and then some show. They're like comedy, singing. The Rat Pack, if you like that type of music. It was entertaining. A tolling ceremony. So I took this side shot of the cod. So where you see the rising sun flag, that means they sunk a warship. If it's this one here, means they hit one but didn't sink it. These are sinking cargo ships, and obviously the circle is they hit but did not sink. On their last war patrol, the 7th War Patrol, they were given an area where they had to get rid of these things. And so they sunk 26 of them. And you might be wondering what this means.
So what's the other one, the 26 they saw?
Sampans.
Those like
Sampans.
Yeah, sampan things, those little things. Yeah. The O-19 was a Dutch submarine that they helped rescue. And the Dutch Navy had basically honored them with, they're kind of, the cod is part of the Dutch Navy now, basically. But this is the symbolizing them saving the O-19. All right. I hope you brought your handkerchiefs. I don't know why. All right, I'm done with that. Oh, there we go. They next had
One more item.
they had a retired chief whose son was on the Jimmy Carter, who flew in and they gave a little talk. You couldn't talk too much about the Jimmy Carter.
No, of course not.
This, and then they did this for us. Oh, it was like a great smell. Those that like the diesel smell, that was great. It was just seeing the water coming out, pumping over the diesel. It was like just humming. Just a
I'm
humming.
like Fairbanks Morris though.
It's okay.
Here's the swearing in of our new elected officials. You know, John Jakes is now the national commander. Tim Carlisle on the end, he's senior vice. Tom Williams is now junior vice. That's the secretary. There's the treasurer, and then the rest are all regional directors. Our Lord's Banquet, that was our meal. We had Vice Admiral Rob Gotcher speak. He very well spoken. As you can see, he is sub-4. So, and then for the business meetings, just some things we have to, if we ever were to do any fundraising ourselves from, and this is to collect funds from the general public, we have to check state rules, send in dues within 2 weeks of receiving them. We're gonna have a little mention, dues are going up, by the way, in January. We have a new base manager, Sharon Walsh. She's actually the wife of the new New England regional commander. Storekeeper, we had like $69,000 in sale last year. They have a new product, which is like this neat dolphin thing that you can mount to the top of the mailbox. If you want to see a picture, come see me, because I put it up here. And they would like to know when notifying returnable patrol the actual date of passing. And we need to work on retention, because we're losing more members than we are gaining. And this is something they recommend in your last will and testament, putting in just a notification letter for the next of kin to notify us of your passing, because some people may pass and there's no notification that happens, and we just find out of the blue that it happens. Hey, our next conventions, 2025 is going to be in Orlando. It's going to be like the first week in September. It's going to be at the same place that they held it in 2022. Corpus Christi in 2026, Reno in 2027. They have no idea for 2028. And that's the end. So we're now going to take.
Excellent.
What's that?
Excellent.
We're going to take 5 minutes, 50-50 raffle, get some refreshments, and then we'll come back and try to finish a little after 8. That's the idea.
Wake up. 27. Like a 7. What does
All right,
What's the other one?
time for the 50-50. Hey, where did our little guest go? I have no idea who that is. Oh, there he is. Did you buy a 50-50 ticket?
I did, didn't I?
All right, why don't you reach in and pull out your ticket?
No, you're not gonna let me do that.
Yeah, we
Then I
are.
gotta listen to you tell
Pull the
them.
ticket. Pull the ticket.
Pull a ticket.
Oh, he's gonna leave his watching. Maybe.
There you go. By the way, what's your name, sir?
I go by Brillo, I'm the junior vice for the post.
Thanks very much for being in our meeting. Hopefully you pulled your own ticket.
Okay, the ticket we have is 7799.
7799. 7799. Did you pull your own ticket?
7199.
Oh, here we go, behind you.
There we go.
He'll probably give it to you.
Back.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So I'll get you in this second.
You were so close. You were one number over.
Yeah, well, story of my life. Just as long as it's,
30.
I think this thing is working.
Yeah, you want to pull another ticket?
are we doing more than one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they'll be doing
Yeah, I don't know if this, maybe that's the issue is.
Next ticket is 7822.
By the way, there are 3 books to take and read and keep and do whatever you want. And then there's 2 read and returns. You may choose.
Yeah.
You may choose the tool. Which tool? These 2?
50, 60 people. Yeah.
That's it.
Grab one?
Yeah, I'll work on this.
Try it next
No.
next
No,
month.
I'll probably go. I'll bring it.
It's whatever you want to do with it.
Okay. I may bring it.
Okay, the next number is 7269. 7269.
769. All right, so we have 2 read and returns, and we have this book, which is about leadership, I guess. That's what you said, right?
This one? The bottom one? Thank you, sir. Okay. And reach and grab. Next ticket, 7840. 7840.
That's mine, but I don't need any more reading material.
You don't need any more.
No more reading material.
I've got a couple I'm gonna donate.
All right, I'll just pick one. Next ticket is 7844.
Still,
7844.
still don't need any.
And by the way, there are 3 T-shirts on the table. And there's some in the bag
And I suppose you
for
have
donations.
7846.
4 6s.
Still don't.
So you're like 4 tickets too late.
7266. 7266.
Yes.
Hey, which one do you want, Harry?
Yeah, volunteers, thank you.
There you go, read those, return them.
Term.
Seven two zero two.
7202.
Okay, you wanted to give something away.
There you go.
Oh!
All
you get-
right.
You get this
Get a
book
book.
on leadership. You get
There
it.
you go. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
By the way, how much went
Hey,
to
good job.
our winner and how much did the base get?
30.
30. Should be 50-50, right?
Now what's it?
Unless you wanna reach in your back pocket and do that.
Well, let's speak about that in a moment. Unfinished business. The Christmas party is set for December 14th. We're going to rent the hall from 12 to 5. However, the actual meal hours are going to run 1 to 4. So it'll be a 3-hour Christmas party. We'll probably start serving the meal at 1:30, maybe 2 o'clock. We don't want to have what happened last time, but everybody will be formed. What we need is we need some volunteers. We need a volunteer to help coordinate with, to get us some cooks, coordinate to get us some door prizes, and coordinate to help set up and clean up. So I need volunteers. Remember, gentlemen, so how did I describe this at the e-board meeting? I said, I would like to go from trying to herd cats to shushing a dog team. That's what I would like to go from. Stop herding cats to shushing a dog team. This organization can only survive if we step up and make it survive. So we still have 3 months to go, or 2 months to go. It's actually 3, but I'm looking for planning purposes. I want you to think about helping out for the Christmas party. Contact me. Yes, Dave.
I'll be the cook and crank, or one of them.
I know you volunteered last year. To be honest, I really appreciate it, and I think the membership appreciates it. However, I think we would appreciate it more if you partook with us versus cook for us. There's a big difference there. And so if we can find somebody else to cook, that's the key. So if it comes down to it, how about this? Your plan B or C or D, one of those. How about that? But we appreciate it. Any other comments on the Christmas party? All right. New business. So last month, we agreed to send $50 to the Western region as a donation. Some people did not like that, but we're sending it as a base. I'm going to tell you that Bremerton base gave $500. Another base gave $500. Now, we can say Bremerton with a little, because you got to understand is they just ran the Western region and they got like several grand from the Western region. So to give back 500 is probably not a big deal for them. But another base gave $500, and so $50, in my opinion, seems paltry from the base funds. However, I don't want to take any money from the base funds, so I'm going to throw a gauntlet down for the membership. Here's the gauntlet. We can either do it one of 2 ways. If you go to the Western Region Roundup website, they have a link to the charitable foundation. If you donate to the charitable foundation, it will be used for the Western region, and that's tax deductible. If you want to go that route, you just need to come back with a receipt showing that you donated to the Western region in X number of dollars. Or you can put money in the hat tonight. And here's the gauntlet is whatever the base donates, whatever all of you collectively donate, I will match up to $300. So I personally will match the donation of the base up to $300. So this is what's gonna happen is, if you wanna do that, come to next meeting with a receipt showing how much you donated via the website so you can get the tax deduction. Or you can put money in the hat to donate, and I will bring $300. And if you can match it, I will donate the $300. Anybody like that? Not like it?
Good challenge.
So that's a challenge. I don't know if that's really business. Maybe that was supposed to be for good of the order, but that's all right. Moving on to the next item is every September or turn over the treasurer, we have to audit the books. Harry audited the books that he took. Ray is stepping up to help also audit. We need one other person who can meet with them to audit the books. Now, I will tell you what the bylaws say. The bylaws say that it's somebody picked by the base commander. So in other words, I can just go, you, go. But I don't like doing that. So, because I would rather shush the dog than hurt a cat. So if you're willing to step up, please see Harry and Ray about meeting to audit the books, because it needs to get done this month. I guess that's for good of the order too. All right, some true new business. I want to show of hands. How many of you like the read and return? How many of you like the read and return? All right, see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many of you dislike the read and return? Because to be honest, I dislike it. I do not like the read and return. We don't know where these books go. It seems like some people actually, have read it already, and it delays time. I would like to propose that we get rid of read and return. We can donate books and you can take them and keep them, and if you want to bring them back and put them back in circulation to give to somebody free and clear, I have no idea. But the read and return books, there's only less than a handful of them. We can make them like our own little library, and we store them in the locker back there, and we bring them out, and somebody can check them out and bring them back. So my proposal is to get rid of read and return. So now I'm going to open it up to the floor for discussion. Technically, we're supposed to have a motion and a second on the motion, but I would prefer us to talk about it before we do these motions. Who here would like to keep the read and return and would like to advocate for it? Chris?
It eliminates having a librarian
It does.
and less paperwork.
Less paperwork.
I mean, read and return is almost like having a library. mean,
I agree.
You grab it, if you like it, you keep it. If you don't like it, you bring it back. Simple.
Anyone else who wants to advocate for read and return? All right, is there anybody who wants to advocate for getting rid of read and return? Besides me, because I already made my case. There's no one who advocates for it. Is there anybody who wants to make a motion to remove read and return?
I'll make a motion to remove it.
I'll second.
There's a second. So now we have a first and second. So we have a motion on the table to eliminate read and return. All those in favor of eliminating it, raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All opposed, raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wait till next meeting.
So,
Well, you didn't vote.
I was not going to vote. In the E-board, when there's a tie, the base commander breaks the tie. In this, the base commander should break the tie. Since the motion was to eliminate read and return, the motion fails, and read and return will stay for the time being. You need to write all that down for the read and return.
I'd like to make a third proposal, put it on the shelf, next time come get a chance to raise it up and talk about it. It's gonna take a little time to think about it.
So I have, because it failed this time, we will discuss it again in unfinished business next month. That is the motion by Ed. Do I have a second to discuss this at the next motion?
Second.
There's a second. All in favor of re-raising this at the next meeting, raise your hand. The ayes have it, we will re-raise this at the next meeting. All right, that's the end of new business. Anyone else want to raise any new business? All right, good of the order. I'm not gonna read that little. If you want to discuss something for good of the order, we're gonna discuss it. Item number one, Item number one is the Western Region Roundup for 2025 is gonna be held at the Queen Mary. You can go to the website. We should be putting up the registration. It's gonna be $60 for registration. The welcome luncheon is like $50 and the dinner is, $70. There's actually different tours, even a haunted one on the Queen Mary that you can do. The Battleship Iowa is like 7 miles away. You can go do a tour over there. So check it out. I will be going. Number two on the list of things for good of the order is the VFW. You see all this stuff here. This is for their picnic, which is going to be
21st, sir.
September 21st from 11 to 3. So now you know why I set the float thing from 9 to 11, so that if you wanted to go to the VFW picnic, they have invited us. I think it's like a $5 ticket, $5. It's 11 to 3. It's going to be at Admiral Baker Park. We are invited. I highly recommend it. So there you go. Good of the order. So some of you have gotten a survey. I know some of you have not. Like you have not gotten a survey. I have created this survey. This is in line with my philosophy is I don't want to herd cats. I want to shush the dogs. And so this is just like, I wanted. Oh, you already did it?
Yep.
I don't know where did you already have one? Did you already get one? I would like you to fill out the survey. You don't get a survey. Wait, did you already get one?
I go.
And it's just to give me an idea of things for our base. Because you got to remember, this is our base. It's not my base. It's not your individual base. It's our base. And so I would like to shush the dogs, not hurt the cats. And so this is to give me an idea of where we can take our organization to make it better than what it is. It's always, that's what we want to do, constant improvement. So I ask that you fill out the survey, and it's anonymous. I don't, if you want to put your name, that's fine. I don't care. I just ask that you fill it out and be honest. Ray, about your shirts. You want to say anything more about shirts?
Yeah. Do I need to explain where the shirts are that I'm having over here and available? Submarine shirts. Basically, I've still got about 50 shirts. After all, a lot of people took it, give us.
A lot of people took it and gave us donations for the couple of meetings ago. I've still got about 50 shirts left. I brought a bunch in here tonight. And to let you know, I brought it up with the president of the Navy Submarine League. down at the luncheon today on the base. And he is amenable, and so next month I'm gonna take a slew of shirts in there and see if I can get us some more money for our scholarship fund from that. But I still got a lot of shirts. If you're going, I got a whole bunch of larges, a few double large, and a couple of very large. But you want shirts, give me a holler. I've got a bunch more, but there's probably 15 shirts over there to go through if you want to look at them.
Thank you.
Maybe last, definitely not least, Chris. This is key for everybody. Listen up.
National dues is going up next year. 1 year dues will be $40, strictly for national. 3-year dues will be up to $113. 5-year dues will be up to $185. And all the life memberships are going up. So if you're looking for a life membership, you might want to jump on the bandwagon this year because it'll save you a lot of money. Most of us are life members, so it's not a big deal, but we've got about 30 members that are yearly dues paying people, and it'd be beneficial to pay early.
Thank you, Chris.
I turned it off.
So those of you that pay dues annually, your dues are due by January. I highly recommend that you pay your dues before January 1st. Don't wait till after January into the grace period, because otherwise there'll be more money out of your pocket. You should consider one of those other options: 3 years, 5 years, or life membership. So, is there anything else for good of the order? Anyone want to speak up?
I got one more thing. I guess everybody has gotten the calendars they want, right? Nobody wants a calendar for next year? It's in the audience. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, if you put your name on the list before, you're on. If you haven't done it, then I need to know tonight.
All right, our next meeting is going to be on Tuesday, October the 8th. I hope to see you there. There being no further business, I remind you of this promise. Let no word or deed of mine cause any injury to the person or family of any member. I hereby adjourn this meeting of United States Submarine Veterans San Diego Base.